Thanks for tuning into this edition of Positively Montana. I'm Hallie Schwinnard. Each week we travel the state looking for people and stories that inspire. Let's begin with a Belgrade student helping to fight hunger. He started the annual Cereal Box Takedown Challenge 4 years ago when he was just in first grade, and it's been a huge hit ever since.
He just came one day and he says, "Hey, let's watch this video." And I was like, "Okay." And so we watched it and he said, "Can we do this?" And I said, "Yeah."
Jamison Parks, a fourth grader, brought the Cereal Box Takedown Challenge to Ridgeview Elementary, making him a bit of a cereal-lebrity. He's also a big fan of Lucky Charms.
Because it's just sweet and it has a lot of flavor.
Jamison started the challenge in first grade and has enjoyed setting up the cereal boxes over the years.
It felt super cool, and the first time we did it, it went down the hall like a straight line, and it was like cool to just watch them just go.
Local elementary schools participate in the challenge by bringing in as many cereal boxes as possible for competition day, where they line the boxes up to create a dominoes pattern and knock them down for the whole school to watch.
I mean, it's been great to see families bringing in bags and bags from like Winco or Target with just so many boxes of cereal. And one family was like, "If I need to go buy 100 more boxes to win, I will."
The Takedown Challenge also contributes to a larger cause. All cereal boxes used in the challenge are donated to the Gallatin Valley Food Bank to help families in need.
And they send the big trucks and the students help load it in. And it's just so cool to see and know that we're helping give back to the community.
And all of this wouldn't have been possible without Jamison and his seriously great idea.
I don't think I've ever tried honeycomb.
I think Jamison is a dynamic personality, and he's a leader in our class, and so the kids like to follow him, and he comes up with these amazing creative ideas.
Jamison hopes this tradition stays in the years to come.
It feels good, and I just hope it goes on for longer.
In Belgrade, Sam Adams, MTN News.
Apprenticeships have become an increasingly popular way to learn a new career and earn money at the same time. Between 2020 and 2024, the number of apprenticeships in Montana have grown by more than 36%. Some of the most in-demand fields in Montana last year include electricians, plumbers, even carpenters. But lesser-known fields like jewelers, vet techs, and locksmiths also have earn and learn opportunities where the apprentice and business both benefit from this career education.
I learn a lot every single day. It's constantly changing. You get real life experience coming out of this as well.
Apprenticeship programs are structured training pathways that combine on-the-job experience with classroom instruction, allowing individuals to learn a trade or profession while earning a wage. Over the past 2 years, Lewis and Clark County has led the state in apprenticeships. Last year, the county saw just about 600 active apprenticeships and almost 500 so far this year. Of those apprentices is Kyrie Pontarelli. She is in her 4th year at a program with the Montana Electrical Training Center.
It's really an investment in yourself for the long run, you know, and women can do it, men can do it. There's a lot of benefits.
Over 86% of apprentices in Montana are still with their employer sponsor 5 years after completing their apprenticeship. But apprenticeships do not just help employers financially, but also the apprentices.
It's not just a training program, it's a pathway to opportunity and prosperity and long-term success for those individuals, those businesses, and for Montana.
By year 5, apprentices make over $22,000 more than non-apprentice peers. Wednesday marks National Apprenticeship Day and aims to honor and celebrate the hard work apprentices do in our communities. In 2024, half of apprenticeships in Lewis and Clark County were electricians like Kyrie.
It's good to be seen because we're still the underdogs, you know. I'm a 4th year apprentice myself, and it definitely matters that people see us for coming up in the world, just like everybody else.
Over the next decade, DLI projects that 58% of job growth in Montana will be in apprenticeable occupations.
Reporting in Helena, Madeline Heath, MTN News.
Carroll College in Helena offers the nation's first undergraduate degree in anthrozoology, a field exploring the complex relationships between humans and animals. The program prepares students for various careers in animal-related fields, and recently, students graduated several student canines.
Some of Carroll College's best boys and girls graduated on Friday as part of their anthrozoology program.
We put so much time and dedication into these dogs.
Maggie Young is a senior at Carroll College who is majoring in anthrozoology and minoring in chemistry. She had her own dog, Bailey, go through the training program.
She has matured and grown so much, and I really attribute that to the training not only I did, but some of the other students in the program had the ability to. And I am just so incredibly grateful for this experience Carroll gave me, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
This year, Carroll's anthrozoology program graduated 3 foster dogs, 1 junior dog, 3 facility dogs, and 3 senior project dogs. Many of the dogs come from shelters for the 9-month training program, which teaches animals skills that can make them more adoptable.
So I got a puppy that was kind of a stray and very standoffish and was really not used to being handled by people. So to go from that to a class where he sees 6 other dogs a day was navigating his nerves and his personality and just growing his confidence.
Students in the program live and work with the animals during the academic year, which is a unique aspect of Carroll's program.
I knew a lot of programs could get me the sciences to go to vet school, but I really thought of what can give me the hands-on experience with animals.
In Helena, I'm Allie Kaiser, MTN News.
Imagine owning your own town. You could be the mayor, the mailman, the general store owner, whatever your heart desires. And now in Montana, you have that chance. The town of Prey is on the market for $2.6 million. This isn't exactly a bustling metropolis. It has 5 acres of land and the population, well, just 1 family. However, despite its size, the town does have a general store and a post office. The town sold in 2018 for around $480,000. The buyer added a couple cabins, a septic system, and renovated a home. But the owner moved out of state, so Prey is back on the market. The listing agent says with a little fixing up, it could become a Treasure State treasure.
I see Prey as a future community. So if we can sell to an owner who is ready to make this a spot with services for the community, that would be the highest and best use for this property.
Prey was founded in 1907 and was named after Congressman Charles Nelson Prey. Still to come on this edition of Positively Montana, Montana PBS embarking on a significant expansion project. More on the vision when we come back.
Positively Montana continues after this.
Welcome back to Positively Montana. It's been a work in progress for the last 6 years. Montana PBS has been raising money for a multi-million-dollar expansion. Now they're expanding to better help tell stories, educate, entertain, and inspire Montanans.
Montana PBS is a Treasure State television classic, and did you know their Bozeman station is located right here on the Montana State University campus? And with recent private funding totaling to over $30 million, well, this building you see behind me is about to go from this to this.
Yeah, it is. It's actually a little hard for me to believe that we're finally here.
Aaron Pruitt is the director and general manager of Montana PBS. He and this broadcast station have something in common. They both entered Montana State University's Visual Communications building in the year of 1984.
I entered the building in 1984 as a freshman photography student. But little did I know that this fledgling TV station and an advisor named Jack Hippa would change the course of my life.
As Aaron's ties with Montana PBS grew, so did this station. Over the years, they've created classic series such as Backroads of Montana or 11th and Grant. Now, after 40 years, they're expanding for the very first time.
To date, we have raised $31.5 million of private donations to help make the addition possible.
That money coming from over 600 private donors across the state of Montana. So what is Montana PBS planning to do with this money?
We plan to add 32,000 square feet, and it will include a large classroom space, which is also a studio, as well as control rooms and offices to bring our entire Montana PBS staff back together for the first time in more than a decade.
KGLT Radio, currently located in the Student Union building, will also relocate to this new inclusive building. shooting. As some folks know, Montana PBS shares this space with the School of Film and Photography. So I asked Aaron how the students will be affected during construction.
For the next couple years, it will present some challenges. At the same time, I appreciate the enthusiasm from all those partners for what our dream is, for what the student experience will be when we open the doors.
This project has been in the works since 2018. Tuesday, the groundbreaking ceremony was finally held. A tent across from Montana PBS filled with friends, staff, and lovers of this station. After heartwarming speeches and presentations, President Cruzado took the stage. Soon after, breaking ground for the last time as president of Montana State University. Construction will start towards the end of the summer, with expected completion in the fall of 2027. And for Aaron, who has seen this station grow into what it is today,
Talking about our past, but talking about our future in this new home, it's a big deal to me. Yeah, it really, means a lot.
in Bozeman, Cassidy Powers, MTN News.
In a world dominated by streaming, one Billings business is pressing rewind. A new retro-themed room is turning nostalgia into a shopping experience, complete with VHS tapes, DVDs, even laser discs, a tribute to the video rental era reimagined for today's collectors.
Well, we stream, we swipe, we binge, but one Billings business is bringing back the old yellow and blue of the bygone era.
Everyone has an address on Memory Lane.
You got Karate Kid, Three Amigos, I grew up on that. El Guapo's my man. Anything Robin Williams makes, I'm all about.
And for Sean Osborne, that lane runs straight down to the video rental store that once busted the block.
You know, all our tapes are for sale. No kidding? That's great, I'll take it.
To walk in here, it's an instant 1992, early 2000s. The sound of that is just, that's nostalgia.
He says he's spent more than 200 hours paying attention to details for his latest room at Keep It Alive Collectibles, housing multiple formats, including 2,000 VHS tapes.
I really dive into attention to detail because I don't want to be that thrift store. We're not a thrift store. You're able to buy a VCR plus a couple movies for under 30 bucks. And that's a good weekend.
While he wants customers to own their favorites again,
some of these titles are harder to find. They're not on Amazon Prime, they're not on Netflix or anything like that.
He's really in the business of helping people find something else. That feeling they thought was lost.
They're buying it because my dad loved this movie. They're buying it because my little brother and I used to watch this, and my parents didn't know about it.
See, it's less about the tape and more about what it can rewind.
When I stand back and watch people with their reactions, that's exactly why I'm in this business. Be a kid again, be a teenager. Show your kids what you used to do on the weekends and stuff like that, you know?
Marcus Kakova, MTN News.
Nonprofits from around the state were banking on community members to open their hearts and wallets to local organizations. From Missoula to Billings and towns in between, raising money for important causes along the way.
We had 64 nonprofits register this year, which was 11 more than what we had previously. And then we raised $60,200 this year.
Of the 64 nonprofit organizations who participated in Give Great Falls, the Great Falls Theater Company brought in the largest number of donors with 40 individual donors.
We're so thrilled with what we were able to accomplish during the Give Great Falls week, especially the amount of donors that we had really speaks to the presence that we have in the community, and we are starting to gain momentum as far as people recognizing us and who we are and what we can provide to the community.
While Give Great Falls raises funds solely for nonprofits in our community, other counties throughout Montana also participate in this giving fundraiser.
We all match up with the other groups around so that we can kind of like feed off of each other's excitement and be a part of something huge.
On top of Great Falls' $60,000 raised, Helena raised $300,000, Billings $433,000, Missoula $1.3 million, and Bozeman raised $2.7 million.
There's other communities that support and push for their nonprofits, and we're going to continue to push and support our nonprofits here in Great Falls. And seeing those big numbers, it gives us hope for something bigger for us too.
And we wouldn't be able to do the things that we do without the donation support.
For MTN News, I'm McKenna Dickey.
Photography is the art of seeing, but you might have to look a little bit beyond your normal focal length to find Missoula's only camera shop, The Dark Room.
For a while, when digital was really coming in, people were saying film is going to die. Film's dead. They'll never see it. And I said, well.
Michael Patterson's shop sits underneath Missoula's main street.
It was founded in 1978 by a man from Colorado. So it started out on 3rd Street near where the Good Food Store is now. And I started working there in 95 and I bought it in 2006.
As digital photography ramped up,
once digital started to get pretty popular, the amount of film we were doing went down precipitously and cameras became close to worthless.
Now, post-pandemic,
well, people were shut down. They got into hobbies. They went through their houses, found their old cameras.
The Dark Room is seeing more rolls of 35mm film than ever before.
We're doing probably 3 times the amount of film we were doing 10 years ago.
While Patterson runs the shop, a couple develops.
Tim goes in there. He has to open the things up into complete darkness. So by feel, he loads the reels, puts it into the developing tanks, and goes through the process.
And scans the film people drop off or send in.
Teen who works for me, she can crank through 15 to 20 depending on what condition they're in.
Black and white rolls are done in-house. However, color is shipped to a partner in Coeur d'Alene, then touched up by the Darkroom crew.
Sometimes you see some great travel pictures that I actually love. We all, if there's like cute dogs and cats, we're all like going gaga over those.
As for keeping a business afloat on what was once a dying art form, Patterson says he wouldn't have it any other way.
I said that will never go away, and it's actually a little surprising just how much it has come back.
In Missoula, Emily Brown, MTN News.
Still to come on this edition of Positively Montana, a new Billings Southside mural honors Hispanic culture through lowrider art. That story right after the break. Welcome back to Positively Montana. It was a celebration of community and culture. One youth group is helping to beautify the Billings South Side, one brushstroke at a time.
For car enthusiasts, there's nothing quite like the look of a classic car.
Everything and anything that can be done with a lowrider paint job, that's what I love to do.
For Ray Nava, his love for them turned into a 15-year-long career of body and custom painting. Now he's changing his canvas from a car body to a wall in his first ever mural.
It just adds so much more to the community and stuff, just so much more culture, and because the South Side is, mainly Hispanic.
Painting this 71 Caprice, a low rider, a symbol for many in Hispanic culture.
It's everybody. So, and I think that's the beautiful thing about lowriding.
Titled Rooted in the South Side, Dreaming Under the Big Sky, the mural is a part of a local club's mission to help beautify the South Side of Billings.
I did grow up in this neighborhood pretty much my whole life, and unfortunately South Park's always been looked at as the bad park, the ghetto park, and for the city to allow us to paint on them and actually help us redo some of it a little bit is actually really nice.
Raza Unida is a club in School District 2 that helps empower Latino and Latina students, ran by local teacher and Ray's sister, Alicia Nava.
It's always been about bringing kids together and trying to give them a brighter future.
In partnership with Roots of Unity, the club threw a celebration at the Southside Park on Sunday, full of Hispanic vendors and the chance to watch Nava paint live.
Watching the process as it goes, or even being a part of it, from us painting it, priming it and stuff, to sketching it, to him painting it, is awesome.
The students helped raise over $2,000 to make it happen, but more importantly, the chance to feature a lowrider in a prominent area is also a chance to show off their rich culture.
There were a lot of stereotypes that were forced onto me and my friends growing up, so it's really nice to see some more positives come out of this community.
Especially the kids, seeing their faces light up when they see the cars and everything like that too. It's a lot. It's what it means to me, and I was that kid and I seen a nice car and I was like, man, I want a car like that too.
An inspiration for a new generation of Southside kids and a larger representation for all of Billings to enjoy.
I really love doing stuff like this. It helps showcase my talents, and it's a part of my childhood, and it's going to be here for my daughter to see, so it's going to be here, hopefully for a long time. It's nice to leave my print on on the south side.
In Billings, Isabel Sparts, MTN News.
The signature piece of an exhibit at the Paris Gibson Square is hard to miss. Meet Me in Montana stands 9 feet tall and weighs 500 pounds. It's part of a collection featuring colorful, bright-cheeked creations with a comic composition. The artist behind the sculptures is Ukrainian and making a return visit to the Treasure State.
This larger-than-life ceramic sculpture behind me is entitled Meet Me in Montana, and it was created by Ukrainian-born artist Yanina Marinova. Her exhibit is on display at the Paris Gibson Square Museum of Art through June 14th.
I feel like I'm back to home now in Montana.
37-year-old ceramic artist Yanina Marinova grew up in Donetsk in eastern Ukraine. She moved to Poland in 2012 before becoming a resident artist in the United States. First in Minneapolis, followed by Big Sky Country.
Then I came to Archie Bray in Montana in Helena, and I spent in Archie Bray 1 year and 8 months.
Now living in Philadelphia, her folktales and fanfare exhibit of sculptures and drawings has been on display at the Paris Gibson Square Museum of Art since February. She says her works are inspired by Ukrainian folk culture, and she hopes they bring positive emotions to people. She says for some, her sculptures look like textiles.
I like to make those like a delicate, soft shapes, and just like bringing happiness with my work to people who come to see them.
The piece that stands out is entitled Meet Me in Montana. The massive sculpture greets exhibit visitors now, but when the show ends in June, it will take up residence on a concrete foundation on the museum grounds.
I love being in public spaces. You know, I feel like it gives me opportunity to show my works to more people.
Yanina hasn't lived in Ukraine for more than a decade, but still has friends in the war-torn country, and her mother still lives there too. Away from the fighting, but still close enough to cause concern.
Even though I'm not there right now, but it all brings me, worries. And, when my mother called to me in unusual time, I'm always worried because every second something can happen.
Yanina takes pride in knowing that her art has an impact among all ages. She says about a month ago, she heard of a heartwarming comment from a mother and her 10-year-old daughter.
And she was never so inspired by visiting exhibition.
In Great Falls, Tim McGonigal, MTN News.
We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Positively Montana. I'm Hallie Schwannard, and we'll see you right back here next week.